Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a makeup inventory for 2024, and this is obviously going to be my introduction. So we're going to be tracking my makeup stash basically in 2024 and beyond to see how many products I have in my collection, how many I would ideally want to have, and just chat some numbers. I want to say this video is specifically very heavily inspired by Rebecca Morgan. I believe I'm saying her name right. I knew about her since a while, but I recently started watching her videos, and she is probably like, her niche is project panning, shop my stash, inventories, no buys, like that kind of stuff. And if you're really into it, she's someone I would highly suggest you start watching if you're not watching her already. And also, I think a good introduction to her channel was me discovering Sarah Rose, or rather Sarah Rose, who I discovered because of Kelly Gooch. So it's kind of that chain reaction basically. I've been watching Kelly Gooch for years. I discovered Sarah Rose in 2023, and then very recently I discovered Rebecca Morgan. So anyway, I want to give everyone credit for this specific video, and again, like I said, this video is going to be specifically just chatting numbers, and I'm going to tell you kind of my thought process, my collection right now, how many products I have in every single category, and how many I would like to be at. And I'm not sure how often I want to do like check-ins on this. I might do a check-in directly at the end of the year to see where I'm at, or I might do periodic check-ins. Do let me know any suggestions if you have. Would you want to see like a 6-month update on this, or a quarterly update? I'm not completely sure, or I might inculcate the update for these numbers in my project pan update. I could do that because I have reduced my frequency from 4 times a week to 3 times a week now. So I have a lot of ideas, and I cannot do individual videos for everything, so let me know that as well. But now let's chit chat and let's talk some numbers. So the first category is foundation. And yes, I told you I'm not a foundation wearer, but when I actually get into my collection and I see, I do have 2 foundations. One is a mini. I'm still counting it as a full size, but it's a mini of the Lakme 95 foundation that I bought back in, I want to say March or Feb, for my brother's wedding in April. And that is the only time I wore that foundation, is for his wedding functions. Apart from that, I haven't worn it. And I also bought the Sugar Stick foundation for the same, which I actually discovered I don't like. So I might declutter the Sugar foundation, or I might decide to keep it, use it, try to make it like work for me. But I'm not a foundation wearer. I only wear foundation when it's a wedding or a special occasion, that kind of thing. So ideally, if I have any foundations in my collection, I would like to just have one, which would be the Lakme one. So I just have to get myself to declutter the Sugar one, or something. Maybe I'll use up the Lakme one, which is not very likely to happen even though it's a mini, and then I'm allowed to keep the Sugar foundation if I want to. So I have to declutter or finish up or figure out something around my foundation collection in 2024, and let's see where we end up. Then the next category is loose powder, and for loose powder I have 4 right now in my collection, and there are 2 on the way as well. So I should actually write 6 over here instead of 4, but ideally I would just like to have 2 loose powders, if any. The reason I have 6 is because, like I said, I bought 2 recently, which are on the way. They've not been delivered yet when I'm filming this video, and I do want to try out different loose powders. I'm also considering decluttering the Maybelline Fit Me one, instead of just forcing myself to use it, which would again take me like 6 months. So it's not just that, but I don't enjoy the Maybelline Fit Me. I'm just trying to make it work for me again. Otherwise I would just rather declutter it. And then the others are newer ones, which if I have to completely use them up, I can go through them quickly. Otherwise I'm just testing out different ones. So ideally I would only like to have 2 loose powders in my collection, but because I'm testing out quite a few, that's why I have as many as I do. So that's something I'm okay with, but I want to make sure that I'm going through my collection in 2024 and either using up stuff or decluttering stuff, just figuring it out. Then for eyebrow pencil, this is the category where I am exactly where I need to be, which is 1. I have 1 eyebrow pencil, which is more than enough. That's all I need, and that is what my goal is, to have 1. So I just want to like remain consistent on this number, and when I come close to using this one up, I will repurchase and have a backup, but there's a long way to go for that. Then let's talk about eyeshadow singles. Now in this category I have 10 Colourpop singles, and I also have 2 like duos from Avon, but I only use the contour slash bronzer, and I'm counting that in my eyeshadow single category because I use those as eyeshadows, not as contour or bronzer. So that is where my number comes to 12, but my goal is to have 5, if not less than that. As of now my goal is 5, but I do want to go through my collection, and I don't go through my eyeshadows very quickly. I don't hit pan on them very quickly, so that is something I want to work on in 2024. So yeah, fingers crossed on that. The next category, surprisingly, is another one which I am at a very good number, but I want to stick at that number because now I'm exactly where I should be, and that is eyeshadow palette. So for eyeshadow palette, I have 2 palettes in my collection. I have the Wet n Wild Rosé in the Air eyeshadow palette, and I also have the Dominique Cosmetics Latte palette. Now I have 2, and I want to be at 2, and the reason I said 2 is because that way I can have one colorful eyeshadow palette and one neutral palette. So currently my colorful eyeshadow palette is the it's the colorful one is the Dominique Cosmetics, even though it has neutral shades as well. And then my neutral palette is the Wet n Wild one, because even though that has colorful shades, there are not as many colorful shades. Most of the shades are more neutral. So the reason why I want to track this is because recently I have, if you follow me on Instagram, you would know this. I have been watching on my Instagram Explore page a lot of eyeshadow palettes, and all the neutral ones are calling my name, and I feel like I want to buy all of them, even though I know realistically that would make no sense for me because I wear the same neutral shade every single day. So the reason I'm putting this in my inventory is so that I can stick at this number, and if I want to buy another eyeshadow palette, I will have to either declutter or use up one of my current palettes. Only then I will allow myself to buy a new one. So that is the only reason I'm putting this in the inventory. Now moving on next to eyeliner. I again have one which I'm almost out of, so I bought a backup which is going to be coming very soon to me. No, my backup has already come. I haven't opened it yet, but then I bought 3 more backups because of the offer that I bought the initial backup at. So in total, again, I have 4 eyeliners in my collection, basically, I want to say, and ideally I would like to have 2 only, because that way I can have one backup and one which I'm currently going through. So even though I have more than what I would need, I feel like I'm sorted for a good year, because if I have 4 and I roughly go through 1 in 3 months, that means I have about 1 year worth of eyeliner, which is pretty good. So I'm okay with this number, but I want to make sure that I'm not buying too many backups, and if I'm buying backups, it is in control basically. Now let's move to the more exciting numbers, and this is where I really want to reduce my collection. Apart from eyeshadow singles, this is where I really need to put in some hard work, and that is blushes. So for a blush category, I have 6 right now in my collection, and that is not a crazy number, it's a decent number, but I want to go through my blushes, or at least hit pan on multiple blushes in 2024, which is a very lofty goal. I think because I used up an entire blush in 2023, मेरे पर निकल आए हैं, और अब मुझे लगता है कि blushes को use up करना is very easy, which is not the case, but I want to make significant amount of progress on my blushes in 2024, and जो 6 है उसमें से अगर 2 भी अगर मैंने hit pan कर लिए तो I would be very happy. My goal is to have 3 blushes in my in my blush collection, or rather 3 blushes in my makeup collection in general. So I would either have to use up 3 blushes, or at least hit pan or declutter or do something, and out of these I would say 4 are have been in my collection for a long time, and 2 are more newer. Usme se bhi 1 I know I love, so I know I'm going to keep it around. So either I have to figure out which ones I like, which ones I don't like, which ones I'm reaching for, which ones I'm using up. Kuch to figure out karna padega humko, so then we can reach the number of 3. And this is something, even if it doesn't happen in 2024, I at least want to aim at making maximum amount of progress, and then even if we reach this number by 2025, I think I would be okay with it, realistically speaking, and practically agar hum soche to. Then for our contour and bronzer, I have at the moment one contour and two bronzers in my collection, and my goal is to have one bronzer and one contour, which is, I'm pretty close, I would say, but I also want to go through my contour and bronzer which I have in my collection right now, because I've had these for years and I want to make sure that they don't expire before I'm completely use them up. So I'm definitely going to focus on them, which is not going to be very difficult considering that I use them every single day. So ज़्यादा tension नहीं है मुझे, because I think right now I'm at my full potential. I'm just hoping that they don't expire before I use them. Then for highlighter, now this is something I have dabbled between for a long time, is that I'm not a highlighter person. I don't wear highlighter very often. So me having two highlighters in my collection right now is a little more than what I would want. Ideally, I would want to have only one highlighter in my collection, if any, so that when I want to use one, I have it on hand, but I know I'm not going to use it very often. And I have one highlighter along with a contour. So if I use up the contour, I think that would motivate me to declutter the highlighter, because the Sugar Contour Force Face Palette which I have, which is by the way right here, so let me just quickly show it to you since we are here. So this is the contour, this is the highlighter, this is the blush. The blush I have not touched in a long time and I don't think I will even use. So I have not counted this blush in my inventory, because to me this blush doesn't exist. Imagine कि बस ये दोनों ही है मेरे पास, ये blush को मैं count ही नहीं करती. And then this highlighter, I will tend to, like, it will motivate me to declutter this if the contour doesn't exist. So अगर ये contour खत्म हो गया पूरा, तो मेरे पास सिर्फ highlighter बचेगा, and then I would be like, I've not used it any which ways, might as well let's declutter it. So then I think I will reach my highlighter number, and then I'll just keep the faces highlighter and declutter this one. So this is kind of correlating to my previous category goal, which is the contour and bronzer one. So yes, that is how I'm going to work on that. And then for our lip category, now I have divided the lip category into three subcategories. We have bullet lipstick, we have lip crayons, and we have liquid lipstick. For bullet lipsticks, I have 4 right now in my collection, which is a little too much considering that I don't wear bullet lipsticks that often. I don't love bullet lipsticks anymore. So even considering that, I would like to have only 2 bullet lipsticks, if any, in my collection, and the rest I either have to use up or I have to declutter. That is what I've told myself. Ideally, I would like to use up 2 lipsticks in 2024 in the bullet category, so that, because I don't think I would want to declutter any of my bullet lipsticks, to be very honest. The 4 shades that I have, I do love, and I just need to use up 2 of them in 2024. Then for lip crayon, I have 5, which is a little too much. Actually, it's not too much. It's just, I don't reach for lip crayon also on a very regular basis. I do more than bullet lipsticks, but not as much as liquid lipsticks. So considering that also, I would like to have 4 ideally in my collection, but because I love all the 5, I don't know which one I would declutter or use up. And also I'm pretty full, like all of my lip crayons, none of them are like halfway done or 3/4 done. ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है. They are all pretty brand new. 2 तो मतलब एकदम brand new है, and बाकी 3 तो I've used a little bit, but still it's nowhere close to being done. So bullet lip crayons का थोड़ा देखना पड़ेगा कि क्या होने वाला है इसका exactly, but we'll see. I want to make active progress on them. And then last but not the least, we have liquid lipstick. Now for liquid lipstick, I just want to let you know I'm only counting my full size liquid lipsticks का number. I have a ton of mini liquid lipsticks, but वो ऐसा है ना कि I have them because I want to use them, figure out if I like the shade, which shades I like, which ones I don't like. The ones I don't like, I will automatically declutter. The ones that I like, I will keep them around and use them enough so that once I use up the mini, then I'll buy the full size. That's my plan kind of for my mini liquid lipstick, so I'm not counting that in my inventory. But in my inventory, I have 14 full size liquid lipsticks, which is a pretty decent number, but I think it's a little bit more than what I need. Ideally, I would like to be somewhere around 10. Actually, you know what? Ideally, I would like to have 10 total lipsticks in my collection, but considering that I love lipsticks, I have so many different formulas and different shades that I love, different undertones that I love, it's not practical to have just 10 lipsticks in total, including everything. Considering कि मेरे bullet lipsticks और crayon lipsticks में ही 6 हो रहे हैं, तो सिर्फ 4 अगर मेरे पास बचेगा for liquid lipstick तो बहुत ज़्यादा ही कम हो जाएगा मतलब. So that is why I want to, actually you know what, now that I remember, I also have the Fenty Beauty ka liquid lipstick which I didn't add. So I have 15. I don't have 14, I have 15. But I would like to be somewhere around 10. And this is again something I have to figure out which formula and which colors are my favorite, and I want to make sure I don't have too many duplicates in my collection or like similar shades. I have to kind of eliminate as well, which I have quite a bit of right now. So I feel like if I do that, then we will easily reach this number. And of course I need to use up the ones that I have as well. So that's how we'll be able to reach our goal. But yes, that is it for the video. This was my makeup inventory and I hope that you enjoyed. Let me know if you would like to share with me your makeup inventory, if you're doing one, or if you would like to do one, or just do one unofficially and tell me how many makeup products you have in your collection in total. If I total up these numbers, let's see how many I have in total. I have a total of 62. Wow, 62 is not what I thought. How many categories do we have? Okay, we have 12 categories, so that makes my average to be around 5 per category, a little more than 5 actually. But I think eyeshadow singles ही मेरे 12 हैं, तो अगर मैं eyeshadow singles को निकाल दूँ, I still have 50 makeup products in my collection. That seems a little bit more than it looks like. Honestly, when like all my makeup products can fit into a pouch, or maybe like 2 pouches at least, it definitely seems like a big number. But yes, my goal, if I total that, कितना हो रहा है? 35. Wow, that's like almost close to half. Let's see if that's achievable in 2024, or maybe it's going to take me a little bit longer than that, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun and we'll see. But that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed, and I'm going to see you in my next video. Until next time, bye bye.